third inning, and we have the occasion to be joined by the 26th overall pick in this year's Major League Draft. Zack Burdi has come up to the booth. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was a crazy year, and extremely thankful for the White Sox for this opportunity, and glad to be here.
What has this last 365 days been like for you?
Nothing short of chaotic, bouncing from city to city, and going from Louisville, being in college, going to class every morning, to now my job's going to the ballpark and handling it that way. So it was nuts, and it was a lot of fun.
You also hit a lot of levels this year.
Yeah.
Did anything as you moved up through the levels that you went through, because not a whole lot of guys are able to do that? Did you feel like anything surprised you at all?
I think the most surprising thing was the fielders and how they played and how they approached their at bats as you got from level to level. And when
Jose Abreu may have just injured himself on this tag over at first. Let's take a look. Kipnis ran through the tag, and Abreu got swatted.
Looked like he might have gotten whacked in the face also.
Go ahead, Zach. You were saying?
I was just saying how when you go from level to level, the higher up you go, the more intense the guys in the field are when it comes to their approach to their bats, their approach to the game, and how they handle adversity. And that was probably the biggest difference, was the hitters. And the pitchers, of course, they control the velo bumps up, and the stuff gets better, and just the overall play.
Now, one thing you can't teach, there's a lot of things you can teach, whether it's pro ball, college ball, or high school baseball. The one thing you can't teach is velocity. You have that in abundance. So then you go back to mechanics. Did they change anything, or did they say, look, he's a young enough guy, we will watch him for a bit and see what happens?
Yeah, no, they let me kind of run with it for a little bit, and then a couple weeks went by when I was in Winston-Salem, and then Hosey was working with me, and he said, we're going to work on staying on top of the ball, and maybe we open up your hips a little bit more. And there was more changes as I went through the system, and I found that my command got better, and that I wasn't as tight or as sore the next day, and stuff just felt really good, and everything was moving in the right direction. So
here's a young Zack Burdi from Louisville, even younger than you currently are. When did you develop into the pitcher that you are now?
I would say it was my freshman to sophomore year summer in college up in the Cape Cod League. Just being around those type of players, being through guys who have done well in college and are the top names going into that year's draft. I'm just a freshman, and getting to have them look at me and have the ability to nitpick their brain and just ask them, what'd you do to have the success that you did? And I was lucky enough to have a good summer, and kind of just took that confidence with me back to Louisville and ran away with it.
Do you remember the first time you hit 100 miles an hour?
I do, yeah. It was I was in Clemson. It was at their park, and I threw a pitch, and it was way out of the zone, but everyone started cheering for me, and I didn't quite understand. And then I turned around real quick, and I saw it was 100 on there, and I got why they were cheering. It was really exciting.
What did that feel like?
It was awesome, because I looked in the dugout, I saw my buddies cheering me on, and I have all my friends behind me. They're all excited, so it was really cool.
Where did you go in Cape Cod? Who did you play for?
I played for Chatham for 2 summers.
That's exactly where I played.
Yeah.
In Cape Cod. I thought it was terrific. It was a wonderful experience. And
yeah.
You lasted 2 years, I lasted 2 weeks, and that was the difference.
Yeah, no, that's a great city. The host parents, the coaches, everyone does it right, and you can talk to guys around the Cape, and they'll say that they wish they could play in Chatham or the Orleans and places like that, because those places are definitely top places.
Okay, so now you have the winter before you go to the next spring training, which is going to be very exciting, I'm sure. But what are your winter plans? What has the organization said to you they would like to see you, if anything, accomplish over this offseason?
I was talking to Coop earlier. He just said when you're in the offseason, train hard, be ready when you come back. I want you to focus on this and that, and a bunch of little things that have been repeated to me for the past couple of months. A lot of stuff I mentioned, like stay on top of the ball, good flow in your motion, and his big thing was just be ready, be focused when you come back to get to work and get going on your sides. And we need you to be focused and ready come February.
Who have the biggest influences been on your pitching career so far?
I think definitely my brother, and then Coach Roger Williams at Louisville was huge, and I had two coaches back here, Todd Hody, and then he was called Spidey, and then all those guys had such a great influence. They just brought me back to back down to you need to be a pitcher. You can't just throw the ball wherever you want. You actually have to throw strikes in order to get outs, and that was a big philosophy. And then, like I said, Hosey, RJ, and then Dot, all of those guys that have been in these last couple of months have been huge for me.
What's your first big purchase going to be?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. No.
On draft day, you were telling me earlier about how exciting it was for your family, your mom and your dad. What was that like?
It was incredible. We were in the Omaha room, which is our meeting room back in Louisville, and all my teammates were there. All of our moms and dads were there. And when they announced my name, my dad, he had already known, but my mom didn't know yet. And she just started, she was bouncing around the only time she stood still was when I hugged her. And it was awesome. It was a really special moment. It was really cool to spend it with not only my family, but all the other kids' families, and all my teammates were there, so it was really fun.
Well, that first year you experienced pro ball, you realize for the first time in your life that you're actually doing this for a profession instead of something that you love to do and that you've done since growing up. Was there a time in your career when you thought that starting pitcher was going to be your lot?
There was a time in my career where I found out it wasn't going to be my lot. It was my senior year of high school. I had a great offseason. I did good in showcases, and some scouts came to my game, and I let up I want to say 5 or 6 runs in 2 innings, and then it just kept happening. Just didn't have a good senior season. I was like, maybe starting pitching isn't for me. But towards the end of the season, figured it out with my pitching coach Spidey, and we just had a great connection that second half. We understood where our approach was, and so the first half, I did not think I was going to be a starting pitching, and then the second half of senior year, thought maybe I could do it, and got to Louisville. They said in the pen.
2-2 for Napoli. Lindor at first, and chopped foul. Your eyes on the mound have drawn some attention from people.
I was telling you earlier that so I threw my first outing in Charlotte, and Ryan Webb came up to me when I was getting breakfast, and he said, "Hey, do you take anything before you go out?" And I said, "No, why?" He said, "You don't take Adderall or like any sort of like coffee, anything?" I said, "No, I'll drink a coffee every now and then before I go out to the game." And he said, "Well, your eyes when you go out there, it looks like you're taking something. It looks like they don't look right." And I said, "I don't know. I have never noticed that. I feel like I'm pretty calm out there, but I guess they see something different." So
that's great.
Well, good focus is hard to come by, right? What's it like being back in Chicago now as a member of the White Sox? How has the response to you changed since you've been back around the community?
It's been awesome. Like I said, I have some family down there and some neighbors down there, and everyone's just really excited. Everyone cheered. I remember I was with that same group of people in 05 when we were watching the World Series, and now that I'm here and they got the chance to come watch me throw the first pitch, it was really special, and they've been just really loving and really caring the last couple of days. So.
Were you surprised at all that, number one, you moved up as quickly as you did, but when they told you that they weren't going to bring you here in September, was that surprising to you? Did you think that was going to be in the cards, or did you feel maybe you'd been a lot of places, thrown a lot of pitches, talked to a lot of people, and maybe that was it?
Yeah, I had a feeling that they were going to shut me down after throwing so many innings, both with the Sox and with Louisville. So I was pretty positive that, not pretty positive I wasn't going to get called, but I was pretty sure that it was more likely that they were going to send me home and let me get my rest. So, it would have been awesome, but it was probably the right move to shut me down and let my body get some rest.
Have you ever seen the old film Bye Bye Birdie?
I have not, but I've heard that saying about 100 times.
I was going to say, with all you probably hear it, I would think you might have just picked the movie up at some point and watched it, right? You've never seen it?
Never seen it, no.
We need to get you to watch that. It's it's an absolute classic.
Yeah.
Well, Zack Burdi, thank you for joining us, and we are going to say bye-bye, Burdi.
Have a good one. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Great to see you, Zach. Thank you. Pleasure. That's Zack Burdi. Is now 2-1 on Ramirez.